Now, coming to you live from atop the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's the one, the only, PUCL Podcast.
It's PUCL! PUCL! It's PUCL! PUCL! Pokemon Underground Champions League, oh yeah! PUCL! PUCL.
And welcome to the 470th episode of the PUCL Podcast. I'm your host, Cool Trainer Thatch, here today with my spectacular co-host. We've got the Fluffiest Whimsicott.
Wow, I hadn't heard Cool Trainer Thatch in a long while.
That's a name I haven't heard in a long while.
Yes.
We also have the wonderful, as always, Sublime.
Thank you. You know, if you're Cool Trainer Thatch, I want to be Beauty Sublime.
Beauty Sublime.
Yes.
I just recently changed my Twitter handle for the first time in 5 years. It was like stuck on Kahuna Thatch since when Sun and Moon released.
And then you're like, oh, right, gotta update.
That is like my in-game trainer class, right?
Yes, and you totally, like...
I pull it off.
It works.
Pull it off. All right, so welcome to the PUCL Podcast. PUCL, of course, standing for the Pokemon Underground Champions League, a nonsensical name we came up with in 2007, so don't ask. We talk everything here Pokemon, from the video game to the trading card game to everything in between, and we're just here to have a good time. I'm actually really excited. I like today's topic. It's a lighter one. I like doing not news. It's always good. But what have you guys been up to lately? Anything interesting? Anything fun?
So, I did pull N in Pokemon Masters.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
Yes, thankfully. And then today I did the Sneasel limited time research, and I got 3 shiny Sneasel in a row, which was cool.
That's cool.
So yeah, Pokemon-wise, I'm having a lucky week.
Oh man, that is exciting. What about you, Sublime? Anything new?
Well, it's pseudo-related. I actually finished a 5e campaign.
Okay.
Which is exciting, because that, takes a long time, you know?
That does take a long time.
That takes a long time, and we, finished an official module, so now we're going to start another one tonight.
I wonder if Wizards ever expects people to finish their modules. I honestly have that question.
What percentage of campaigns finish? That's the question I want.
I want to know the answer to that.
I think they don't care whether you finish them or not. They just want you to buy them. Yeah,
you bought the book, right?
Sure.
You bought the book.
Yeah, I didn't. The GM did for this one, but yeah.
I don't know. I've gotten to the point where I'm in my career and I just go
source books.
Yeah,
so.
I just buy a book. It's just it comes out every once in a while. I'll just buy it. It's fine. I want to read it anyway.
True. That's fair.
It's just one of those things. It's just I want to do it.
Exactly.
I imagine my kids pulling it off the shelf one day and being like, what's this? And I'm like, we're going to have a lot of fun. And it'll be a good time. I've had a really exciting week because Sigma found this awesome thing that's going on Smogon starting this weekend, actually. It's called it's like a Do Trio tournament or something like that. It's very cool.
Ooh.
You end up hopping in a group of 3 people. So it ended up being Sigma, myself, and P. McGee. And Claude's working as consulting. He's the guy. I like to imagine Claude's running around with a little towel to wipe the sweat off our foreheads. But he's actually probably going to help us craft the teams pretty well. So what it is it's VGC based because we just got the new rules for VGC starting in February. I guess by the time the show is out, it'll be the official rules.
Yeah.
Where it's the 1 legend meta, which I think is really cool and better than the 2 legend meta.
Yes.
I will take that.
Flip the script.
Yeah, it's a lot. Well, it's because I think they want BSS to follow the same rules as VGC the entire time. And if you have 2 legends in BSS, you're totally going to be unbalanced. One box art legend for Battle Stadium singles is very balanced. They actually did it back in November. They had a tournament called the Dragon King Cup. I played it. I played a few games in it, and it was exactly this meta. 100% this meta. And I found it to be pretty balanced. I will give Pokemon credit in Generation 8 for all of the things that they've done poorly. They've at least balanced their metas very, very well. I don't know that I have any overarching complaints about anything being too good in VGC this year or in even Battle Stadium singles. Remember when we used to do Battle Spot back in Gen 6 and Mega Salamence just destroyed everything?
Yeah.
So that doesn't happen anymore with the way they have things set up. So it's really, nothing's centralizing. in that sense, but it's not as fluid as it was in Gen 6 when there wasn't any centralization, or not Gen 6, Gen 7 when there was no centralization for that 1 year of VGC. It's really nice. I really like the metas. They're doing a very good job with it. I still wish I could play 6v6 on cart, but we can have that conversation another day.
We've had it before. We'll have it again. We just miss it.
Yes.
You know where to go if you want that conversation.
Yeah, I really, I don't want to go too far into it. I think it's really funny that was like the nail in the coffin for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So the idea of it on this tournament that started this tirade is that Sigma, P. McGee, and myself, we're on a team of 3. We're battling other teams of 3, where I assume it's like one of us gets paired up against somebody else on the team, on the opposite team. And it's whoever wins is whoever wins 2 out of 3 of the matches, right? 2 of the 3 best of 3s. Very confusing. And then it just builds up. I mean, right now, I think there's something like 60 teams signed up for this.
You could have like 9 battles, potentially. That's a lot.
Every person does their battles on their own time, right? Mm-hmm. Like, say we're up against somebody, I can schedule a match with my opponent, P. McGee can schedule a match with his opponent, Sigma can schedule a match with his opponent, right? The cool thing is, the way this works as a team, it makes it more cohesive, and we're totally stealing this for a PUCL tournament idea at some point, is out of the 3 of us, we have to obey species clause as a team.
So all 3 teams have to combine to not have any.
You have to have 18 different Pokemon as a team.
I love it. I love it. Brilliant.
It's very, very cool. So you just don't have like 3 people running the same team.
Right.
I think it's very cool and very balanced in that respect. I'm sure we're not the only ones, because I don't think they expected this much participation. 60 some teams or whatever. It's nuts. Thankfully, I think signups closed last night, but
yeah, I did read the rules, and if I'm not mistaken, I remember that you can break quote-unquote species clause with forms. So, like, each of you could have a different Rotom.
A different Rotom, a different Urshifu, different Calyrex. So you could break species clause with forms. So, like, if we really wanted to, one of us could run, like, Calyrex Shadow Rider, one of us could run Calyrex Ice Rider.
Fun.
I don't know that Ice Rider's that much better to run, but, like, Shadow Rider's, like, a clear favorite. It's very easy to run. So I think we already built one team with Shadow Rider on it that we're happy with. We're looking into Zacian and probably Kyogre as the other 2 to build around. So I don't know. It's very exciting. It's very cool. I'm hyped to play it. I'm hyped to see if we can like make some content out of it too, just so everybody can see it happen. If you would like to see a tournament like this happen on PUCL, please let us know. We'll make it happen. I would say that the way I feel about Pokemon right now is the most excited I've been in a very long time. In terms of just like competition and stuff like that. It's been very, very good.
That is good.
So this is very hype for me. If you're interested in it, please let us know. I don't do much with the tournament planning in the community anymore, but I will step in if I have to make this happen if people are interested. I will 100% make it happen. But I think this is a good place to wrap it up. We have some news to talk about, so let's kick it on over to the news. Let's cue that epic music.
Live from the Lavender Town Radio Tower. This just in.
And welcome to the news. In the news, we've got a few things to talk about, and I'm going to let Whimsicott kick it off.
Yup. For once, we get an announcement well in advance for a max raid event, because it's one of the super cool level 100 ones.
Yeah, I love these.
Yeah, so this one's a bit weird because the Pokemon in question is Cramorant.
Yes.
Shamu will be pleased.
You can also find like Quagsire, Golurk, Flygon, and Indeedee in the event raid dance, but the star of the show is a level 100 Cramorant, and we get prizes. So if 500,000 people defeat the Cramorant, we all receive a Flame Orb, Toxic Orb, and Light Ball, and if 1 million people defeat the Cramorant, we all receive, and by we all, I think, the people who defeat the Cramorant, will receive a gold cap, 3 regular bottle caps, and 3 pearl strings. And this event runs for an entire week from February the 4th to February the 10th. So have fun, strategizing, bring all of your electric types. I'm sure the Cramorant will have ground type moves somehow.
I find this to be the coolest and most confusing thing in the entire world.
Right?
For 2 reasons. One, because I think doing level 100 raids is really cool, and we should have more of this. Ever since the Zeraora event last summer, I thought it was just like, or even the Mewtwo thing. It's dumb that you couldn't catch them, but it's fine. I'm okay with not being able to catch them. I wish it would have happened more regularly. I will say that. I wish it would have happened, because I think that's my biggest thing. Like, oh, the last time we saw this was June, and now it's February.
Yeah.
Even if you don't do it like every month, maybe do it like once every 2 months, every 3 months, something like that. Something regular.
Yeah, like 4 times a year.
These are really cool. These are really, really cool. I do say the prizes are a little not timely for a number of reasons, because getting things like the Flame Orb, Toxic Orb, and the Light Ball in Sword and Shield is actually very hard.
Yeah.
Or at least in base Sword and Shield. I don't know if they fixed it in the DLC or not, but it used to at least be very hard. It would have been cool to have dropped this event like 3 months after Sword and Shield came out.
Yeah, I mean, some people got Sword and Shield a month and a half ago because Christmas.
I don't disagree with that. I still think it's cool. You could just rerun some of those things, right? We could have had like a different Pokemon and you still get the Life Orb, or not the Life Orb, but the Toxic Orb and the Flame Orb and whatnot. I still don't think the items are as hype as being like, Shiny Zeraora, here you go.
Yeah.
I think it would have been really cool if they were just like, if you do it, we'll give away a Shiny Cramorant.
I think like the fun in this one is that it's Cramorant. It's so absurd. And
Yes,
it looks
I absolutely
funny.
agree. I'm very excited to do it. I kind of want to stream this and just like go around and beat him up with some guys. Those are Thatch's 2 cents. I apologize if people hate Thatch giving his 2 cents on wishing they would do cool things more often. PokemonCenter.com was destroyed this week by scalpers because the newest TCG set dropped, I believe on Thursday. It wasn't like a new TCG set, it was like one of the half sets, I believe. It was like the like Shining Fates equivalent, where there's probably a Charizard. And I don't know, like we've been following this since probably last summer, and we mention it from time to time. And maybe we should do a whole episode on it. It might be something more for like me and Sigma and like Jushiro or Basket to talk about. Like the Pokemon TCG scene has just been crazy since this past summer.
Yeah.
Absolutely bonkers. For those of you who are unaware, and I don't know how you're unaware if you're a Pokemon fan at this point, people have just started using TCG as a way to quote unquote invest. No, don't do that, please.
Yeah, I know.
For so many reasons, do not do that. There are definitely some safer investments to make.
There's less safe investments to make, too.
There are, yes, absolutely. There are less safe investments to make, but I don't know. I personally would not invest in cardboard.
That's fair.
I would personally not do that, but that's just me. So a lot of people have been using it, and like they've been buying out like stock at like stores. And what's really disgusting to me is like on places like Burbank City, though I think they've really like cracked down on it recently. People were just like posting pictures of them like buying out like Target stock of Pokemon cards and stuff.
Oh.
And I don't know, like I'm not like a hardcore TCG player by any means, but you know, I occasionally, like I used to play a lot more when I was still living in Columbus.
And you do collect.
Not anymore. Not so much anymore.
Oh, okay.
I used to, but we like when Sword and Shield dropped, we were just like, we should stop.
It's a good starting point or stopping point when a new gen comes
Well, because
out.
we were just like, we don't know. I'm not playing anymore like I was because the Dayton scene's not as fun as the Columbus scene was, and maybe that was just because I had more friends that were outside of Pokemon, also into Pokemon at the time in the Columbus scene. So it was. Yeah, it was just very strange. So I don't play anymore. So there's no point to collect, because the collecting was driven by the, hey, I need this card. And so then my wife would go, okay, yes, I would like, I'll open a pack so you can get that card. But so they've just like destroyed the scene. And so the new set dropped. They just unleashed bots to just try to buy up all of the stock as soon as it dropped on PokemonCenter.com, and it crashed the site. It just like destroyed the site. I don't know. Scalpers just they really upset me. Joe Merrick like went on a tweet tirade about this too.
I bet.
And I don't disagree with him. I think it just ruins the fandom. If the true fans can't get the cards and you're just hiking up the prices artificially, essentially, it's going to become a bubble, and everybody loses in that scenario. Like everybody just loses.
It's like scalping is like bad in general, but in my personal opinion, like the most like innocently fun and involving children something is that is the target of scalping, the worst it feels. Like. Mm-hmm.
You know what I heard just recently started getting scalped was e-textbooks.
Yeah, that's been getting bad too.
That's unacceptable because they're like, I've heard that some e-textbooks have had like a 500% price increase.
Yeah.
Just because of the pandemic. And I'm like, that is exploitative and should be condemned.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the strongest terms.
They actually just came out with a study before, because I saw that same story today on Reddit. I think they came out with a study not too long before that showed that ebooks cost so much less to produce than the paperback books.
Yeah.
I don't know. But either way, let's not talk about the crumbling bubbles that exist.
Right. Let's talk about some video game battling news. So Series 8 of the online ranked battle just began as of when this is airing, and will now allow, as we were discussing a bit, one of the normally restricted legendary Pokemon on your team. So this includes Calyrex Rider, so say goodbye to your berries. Mythicals are still banned because Mythicals are still banned.
I find Calyrex's ability silly. Like, base Calyrex's only ability is Unnerve, and then they get, like, the As-1 ability when he rides the horse. So the horse just gets, like, its really good ability plus Calyrex's Unnerve.
Yeah.
It's just cool, like, combination of, like, the lamest ability. It'd be like if they gave him, gave him Pickup, and they're just like, As-1, he has 2 abilities now. It's like, cool.
It's like, he does, but does he?
Technically, yeah.
All right, so this season's going to run through February, and then it ends in April. And then in May, they'll do Series 9, so maybe it will bring Little Cup for Thatch. I don't know. We'll see. Also, this is going to apply to both doubles and singles, so don't think
Little Cup VGC would be hype. That would be hype.
It would. And it gives everyone an excuse to use, like, cute things, yeah. I could see them doing it somehow, some way.
One of my favorite baby Pokemon is Elekid. I just like that whole line. I'm a sucker for the Electabuzz line. I would love to be able to use Elekid competitively. I would be into it. Anything to make that line competitive again. Anything. All right, let's move on to Pokemon Go, Whimsicott.
Oh, okay. So, there's going to be a Team Go Rocket celebration event. It will run from February the 2nd through February the 10th, and it will focus on new shadow Pokemon like Swinub, Nosepass, Aron, Spheal, Lilip, Anorith, and more. How exciting. It will have increased spawns of poison and dark types. You will be able to find Dino, Ponyard, Scraggy, and Sandile in Strange Eggs, among other Pokemon. There's going to be special field research, and 1-star raids will include Alola Meowth, Alolan Grimer, Gligar, Sneasel, Shinx, and Clink. And 3-star raids will include Nidoqueen, Ariados, Umbreon, Tyranitar, and Absol. I don't know what Nidoqueen is doing there. I guess she's a poison type. And during the event, your eggs will hatch with only 50% of the normally required steps.
So I haven't played Pokemon Go in months. And
Same.
I just want to know, because I assume you do, Whimsicott. I think you do, from our conversations.
Yeah, a bit.
How much of the, like, pandemic stuff have they rolled back? Is it, like, all of it? And, like, the 50% hatch distance is just like, yeah, this wasn't the new normal anymore.
Yeah, okay, so let's just say that with events going on, I think whichever week you pick up the game, there's like a 1 in 4% chance that your hatch distance is somewhat reduced. Because they just have events after events after events. I don't know about the distance thing because I don't have anything like within reach of my house either way.
Okay.
There are a ton of spawns.
I heard the spawns were increased.
The spawns are insane. And today I actually completed the limited time Sneasel research, and it was honestly like playing a Sneasel community day. Like, there were so many that I could catch. Like, I lost count at some point.
That's cool.
And I got 3 shinies. So, yeah.
That's a pretty shiny, too.
Yeah, it's still a rather enjoyable game even from your couch.
Okay, because that's my worry. Because I see, like, my exposure to, like, what's going on is mostly, like, tweets. Mostly from Joe Merrick, refusing to admit that, like, maybe the game isn't as fun as he wants it to be all the time. And so, like, I'll see him and he'll be like, oh, this is really dumb. You're going to have to pay for whatever to make this happen. Or there's a pandemic going on outside. How am I supposed to, like, go get rocket stops?
That is very, very fair. I think the game is enjoyable if you're a casual player. If you're
I
a hardcore
agree with
player,
that.
probably not right now. But I'm not, so I wouldn't know for sure.
So speaking of community days, unlike Sneasel, on February 7th, which is next weekend, from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. local time, Rosalia will be out. If you evolve into a Roserade during the event, you get Bullet Seed and Weather Ball. Timed research will also be available to receive Sinnoh Stones, and as usual, there's going to be paid research that you can purchase for $1. That's all. Nobody's excited about this.
Noted. Yeah, it's like noted. Also, Snorlax will be the breakthrough research encounter for February.
Talk about things people aren't excited about.
So, I mean, I guess if you're real new and you wanted a Snorlax, there you go.
I would be curious to know what the numbers are on new incoming players to Pokemon Go.
I feel like I've seen a big advertising push, actually.
I've seen a lot of ads. I've seen a lot of ads.
So it wouldn't surprise me. Spotlight hours for February have also been announced. From the February 2nd, Ekans will have double catch evolution experience. Then on February 9th, Miltank there will be double catch Stardust, which is what people really want.
Yeah,
that's what
that's
want.
The end game. That's the end game resource.
That's the real end game. All right. February 16th will be Love Disc and double catch experience, and then February 23rd will be Pikachu and double catch candy,
which is also good.
Candy's good too. Yeah.
No, you need a lot of candy now too with the level 50 stuff. So it works out. So just one last thing in PUCL news. Don't forget there's going to be a UUTC Ultimate Underground Tournament of Champions. Yes, that is what I think it stands for.
It does.
The information should be out now that we have the Series 8 rule set. Sign up by February 6th. Round 1 of Swiss is going to start on February 8th. Please join. We are very excited to have you. It's just Battle Stadium singles. It's going to be really fun. You can use rental teams. If you've never played in competitive, this is a really good chance to dip your toes in, have fun, and just have a really good time.
And you don't have to settle down on your team week one.
Yeah, you get to switch it around.
You can change it through the Swiss rounds. So
it's very
don't worry. It's not you don't have to have it all figured out the moment you sign up. You have an extra few days.
All right. So that is going to be it for the news today. So we're going to kick it on over now to PUCL's Poke Quiz, where we're going to quiz your co-host on their insane Pokemon knowledge.
Oh, hi, and welcome to the Poke Quiz, the part of the show where we quiz our co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge. I'm Mark, here to explain the rules. Our fabulous co-hosts will work as a team to answer 5 Pokemon-themed trivia questions that fans have submitted on the Discord server. Each question is worth 1 point, with Pokedex and multiple answer questions worth more, for a total of 7 points. The host can use a free hint at any time. If they get all the answers correct and do not use the hint, they can cash it in for an 8th point.
And welcome to PUCL's Poke Quiz, the part of the show where we quiz your co-host on their insane Pokemon knowledge. Thank you to Mark for reading us off the rules. This segment is brought to you by Anime Gravy, your one-stop shop for all your nerdy art. Use code POKEQUIZ at checkout for 20% off of your purchase.
And also just wonderful people, the most wonderful people.
We say this every time, and you're absolutely correct.
It's true, and it bears repeating.
Yes.
Yeah, they're just amazing, and we love them so much.
My life is better for knowing them, you know?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right. On that note, though, let's jump into these questions brought to us by none other than Liger. He has grabbed all the questions from our Discord server, so we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Our first question is going to be from Big Cat Bruce. What is the only Fairy-type Pokemon that gets the move Wide Guard by level up?
Ooh.
By level up.
So, Klefki is a possibility. It gets weird stuff.
That definitely is a possibility. I was thinking, I don't know why. I was thinking something like Wigglytuff, but that can't be right. That sounds wrong.
I mean, lore-wise, it would make sense. But
yeah, I can just expand, and you covered. You covered.
Exactly.
So I could see that maybe. I can see that as a maybe. Klefki's a good guess, too.
Does any of the Tapu get it?
I don't think so. Not
Okay.
naturally. Not by, like,
Okay.
level up.
I don't play VGC, so I'm not very familiar with wildcard distribution.
What's throwing me up is it's the by level up. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need an answer.
I don't know.
Do you want to go with Klefki?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's do Klefki.
Klefki is unfortunately incorrect.
Mm.
You're gonna kick yourselves like a little bit maybe for not thinking about it.
Oh my god. What is
But the answer is Mr. Mime.
Oh.
Well, you know what? We don't want him. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't like to remember that it is a fairy type or that it even exists.
Yeah.
Or that it's a
So-
Pokemon. Yeah.
Yeah.
My fairy type.
Yeah.
All right. Your next question is going to be from Sari. What is the only Pokemon with Rain Dish that cannot learn Rain Dance?
Ooh.
Oh.
Fascinating.
Rain Dish.
Hmm.
I feel like it can't be a water type because how could there be a water type that doesn't learn Rain Dance?
So Maractus, maybe? Does it have Rain Dish or does it have... I think it has Rain Dish.
I thought it had Storm Drain.
Oh, maybe it has. I think it has
Or-
both,
I don't know.
actually. I think it has both. So it could be Maractus because it's a grass type, so it might have Sunny Day instead of Rain Dance.
What else has Rain Dish?
The Lotad line?
Lotad, I think Tentacruel had it, but obviously Tentacruel
Maybe.
would get it, and so would Lotad. They would both get Rain Dance.
The Blastoise line, I want to say, has it as a hidden ability.
Yes.
But I think they do learn
They
Rain
definitely
Dance.
could learn Rain Dance, yeah.
I think maybe the Gastrodon line also. I think you're right that it shouldn't be a water type.
Right, like, if you're a water type, you're learning Rain Dance.
Probably, yes.
Or you can learn Rain Dance. I feel like. Is that wrong? Yeah, I don't know.
So I think we should keep our hint for the multiple point question. So we should probably not use it now.
Okay.
Are you okay with saying Maractus? Like, I'm not even 100% sure that it gets Rain Dish.
Sure, because I can't think of anything else. Because it's like, if you get Rain Dish,
Yeah.
what does it get Rain Dance that has Rain Dish? Like, I'm actually very curious to know.
Yeah, okay.
I would love to know. So we'll guess, yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah, let's go with Maractus.
Maractus is unfortunately incorrect.
It's a good thing we're so charming, since we're getting these wrong.
You're on the right track, though. It has to be a non-water type Pokemon, and it turns out there's only one water type Pokemon line that does not get it. So not a lot of Pokemon get it in general, right? So Blastoise line, Tentacruel line, Ludicolo line, Pelipper line gets it. Nobody cares.
Oh,
That's doing the drizzling.
Surskit, and only Surskit gets it. And the one that you're forgetting is the Morolol and Shiinotic line. And it turns out the answer is only Morolol because Shiinotic can learn Rain Dance via TM, but Morolol cannot.
Oh, I never knew they had that ability.
Yeah, it's their hidden ability too.
That is... Yeah, that's...
Wow.
Oh, well, okay then.
Yeah,
I really like that line, but I never noticed that.
yeah. I was surprised you didn't know that. So that's why I chose that one. I'm like, oh, maybe they'll know about this one. All right. So your next one is your Pokedex entry question. The way it works now is you get one Pokedex entry. If you can get the Pokemon without me giving you a second Pokedex entry, you get 2 points. If you ride the struggle bus, I will give you a second Pokedex entry. And you get 1 point if you get it correct after that. 0 points if you get it incorrect after that. So here we go. Your next question is from G. McGee, or G. McP. Oh my gosh,
Oh
there's
my
too many
goodness.
of them.
Let's not do that.
I hate this.
It's Pokemon Y entry states. When it's happy, this Pokemon demonstrates beautiful movements of its tail, like a dancing ribbon. Who's that Pokemon?
Maybe Sylveon. Because of the ribbon. That's what got me.
I don't know. I think it would have to have a longer tail because Sylveon has the ribbons, but they don't come out of the tail, you know?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
And it has to be like a single tail, not like Suicune, who has 2 ribbons for a tail. And
Thatch, could you repeat it when it's happy?
I've got it.
You got it?
I've got it. It's Chimecho. It has to be Chimecho.
I love it. I love it.
Is Chimecho going to be your answer there?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, second Pokedex entry.
Okay.
Its Pokemon
We're
Platinum
really
entry
struggling.
reads, it hides its tail in spiteful tendency of hooking its claws into the nose of its trainer if it isn't fed.
It hides its tail in a spiteful
It hides its spiteful tendency of hooking its claws into the nose of its trainer if it isn't fed.
Oh.
Okay. Some kind of cat. So it could be, what's its name? The pre-evolution of Paragli.
Glammeow?
Glammeow, yes. And it has a really long tail. So...
Could you repeat the second Pokedex entry, Thatch?
The second one is, it hides its spiteful tendency of hooking its claws into the nose of its trainer if it isn't fed.
Okay, so this thing hooks its claws into the nose of its trainer if it's not fed. I don't see Glammeow hooking its claws up your nose. It's too short.
But it's a cat, and it's a dark type. So...
No, it's not. Glammeow's a normal type.
Okay. It looks like a dark type.
That's because it's got that shady side eye, you know?
I'm gonna need an answer.
Oh, I'm lost.
If it's not Glammeow, I don't know what it is.
Well, then we can guess. I have nothing, so why not Glammeow?
Glammeow is correct.
Oh.
Hey!
Thankfully.
And the notes that I was given is that it's also called Sinnoh and Meowth. Because we can't have enough Meowth forms.
We really can't. I'm okay with that.
Also, the fact that I don't know its type is proof that we need larger Glammeow distribution.
So, Glammeow has been accessible in literally 2 Pokemon games. 2, ever.
Yeah.
That's over all versions.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't even catch it in Platinum.
Nope.
It was only catchable in Pearl, and then it was only catchable, I believe, in Omega Ruby. It was still version exclusive there, and that is the only place we got it.
Yeah, but like on some Mirage something.
Yeah, it was on a Mirage Island, yeah. Because they just used Omega Ruby to fill the decks.
I want a Glammeow form. I want an alternate form that evolves and is pretty instead of...
Yes. Yes.
Give me that form. Do that challenge.
Yes.
All right, so you guys are 1 for 3. We've got your multiple choice question. It has 3 answers, so 1 point per answer. I will give you 2 topics you can choose from them. One of them is about damage boosting items, and the other one is about terrain. Your choice. Which one do you want to answer?
I don't know, Sublime, you pick.
I'm leaning towards terrain. What are you thinking?
I was leaning towards terrain, too.
Well, then let's do that.
All right. This one is from Sir Missing No. In Generation 8, there are 3 moves to remove terrain. What are they?
Steamroller.
Yes.
That is correct. That is a point.
Then there's that new one. Defog. Defog removes terrain.
That is correct. That's 2. That is 2.
And is Steamroller like the new one? No, it's not.
Steamroller was added in Isle of Armor.
Okay, so that's the new one.
It was the steel type move that got added.
Yes.
Yeah, you already answered that.
One.
Yeah.
Right, we did Steamroller and we did Defog.
You do still have your hint.
I think one of them is like G-Max move or something.
Oh, it is Lycanroc's G move.
Yes.
Or yeah, that thing. Z move, G move.
Yeah. I don't know, but it's not in Gen 8 though.
It is Lycanroc's. It's Lycanroc's. It removes terrains.
Yeah, but is it in Gen 8 since it's a Z move? No.
I mean, did they say Gen 8 specifically? Or
yeah, it says in Gen 8.
He did say Gen 8.
Yeah. Darn it, we found a third.
So, do you want to use the hint? Or do we keep it for the next question?
I mean, we were saving it for this question, right?
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, we could use it on this one. That's fine.
Okay.
This is a G-Max flying type move.
See? It's
G-Max?
Corviknights. What's it called? It's...
right.
I'll accept Corviknight's G-Max move. I'll accept that.
I don't remember the name.
That is correct.
Take it.
That is correct. You guys are 4 for 4 now. It is G-Max Wind Rage, for clarification. And it just destroys, terrain, screens, spikes, stealth rock, everything.
All of the things.
Yeah.
It's super defog on steroids.
Yeah, it clears the field. And that's all you need to know. You're 4 for 4 now. You made a good recovery there. All right. So your last question is your base stat question, as always. And this one is going to be from Polywo. So what obtainable Dragon-type Pokemon has the highest base defense of Dragon-type Pokemon?
Obtainable, as in Turtonator is not in the game?
No.
Is that what the question means?
No, also Turtonator is in the game, I think, now. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, so they want to exclude the Turnamax.
They just want to exclude Turnamax because it has a base 250 defense.
Everything. So. Yeah. So, Turtonator has a super high one.
Yeah.
Super high. It's higher than most other
To be honest, I think it could probably just be Turtonator, because, like, when you think of all of, like, the many legendary dragon types, they don't put the points in defense.
I know for a fact that it was Turtonator in Gen 7, so is there anything new that has surpassed it?
Oh, no, because the thing I was thinking of is actually really low in defense. I was thinking Duraludon, I was like, wait, no.
Yeah, no, I was saying, yeah, it's a steel type, but it doesn't exactly have the stats of a steel type. So
I think your first instinct was right with Turtonator.
Yeah, because there's, like, Dragapult is paper, basically, so...
But it's like sandpaper, because it will cut you.
Yeah, it's Kartana's new friend. No, yeah, I like Turtonator.
Let's go with it. I like that answer a lot.
Yeah.
Turtonator is correct. Turtonator has a base defense of 135. It is followed up by Mega Salamence with 130, Komodo at 125, and then they mentioned a tournament as being the reason we're excluding things. Because it's not obtainable anyway. Yeah, I wouldn't even count it. It's a boss. It's an RPG boss.
Story mode boss.
Let me get the scores pulled up, because that does change up the standings by putting Sublime on the board. So, not many people are on the board. So in first place, we have Whimsicott with 18 points.
Winner!
In second place, we have Linian with 8 points. And tied for third, we have a three-way tie between P. McGee, Sigma, and Sublime, all with 5 points apiece.
You know, it's an honor just to be nominated.
Yes, I believe that.
I need to not be on the show for a little while.
All right, so that is where we are. We are going to take a short break, guys, and we'll be right back at you with the topic. UUTC entries are open. You can come and join it over on the Discord server. You can play any team, including rental teams, so make sure to come on out. It's a great experience if you've never battled before. I look forward to seeing you guys there. And welcome to the topic. Our topic today is making sense of the Pokemon world. Can we do it? I don't know. But this came up because we were talking about pre-show. We typically have like a little chat we talk about before the show when we figure out who's going to be on the show. And we try to come up with, like, what do we want to talk about? And typically it's very easy because Pokemon will be like, oh, hey, here's some news. And we go, okay, that's very exciting.
Depends on where we are in the cycle.
Yeah, well, I also like doing these topics where it's just like, I don't know, I imagine this is what happens if the three of us were to get together and go sit on my couches in my living room.
Yes.
And this is like the kind of topic we would have. So this is, I'm like, just like a random conversation between friends about Pokemon inconsistencies that people can chime in on by sending us an email later. And so this all started because Whimsicott asked the question, and this full credit to Whimsicott, why do people sometimes only train one type of Pokemon?
Yeah.
And I'll let you like give your theory. I have an answer, but your answer might be better.
No, so when you said you had an answer, I perceived that it was the answer, but I like to speculate a little bit before getting there. So
Okay, so go ahead.
The reason I thought why, like, the game itself tells you should diversify if you want to succeed as a Pokemon trainer, and then all the most successful Pokemon trainers are type specialists. So what's with that? And I have several theories about this, and I think one of the ones that fascinates me the most is that in the Pokemon world, Pokemon types have very specific social connotations. Like, people will perceive you as a certain kind of person if you are a water-type Pokemon trainer, especially like a dark-type Pokemon trainer. So it's a form of self-expression above everything else.
So it's like fashion items.
Almost, but more.
Yeah.
And that like does make the question, do Pokemon types go out of style, and do people ever change the Pokemon type they specialize in? What happens to the Pokemon they leave behind because they change type? Like, there is a lot there that we don't usually think about.
I think it might be a little, like, if you think about it in that way, yes, it gets complicated. I think it might be something a little bit simpler than that.
Probably.
And we kind of see this in like different forms of the media. Maybe more so in something like the manga, the anime's got like hints of it too, but you can tell like when they're raising Pokemon, especially in the anime, like there's specific routines they have to go through to like care for the Pokemon, right? And in my mind, it's just easier. Like if I have to do this like specific treatment, like I have to trim the hedges equivalent for my grass type Pokemon, right? It'd just be easier for me to have 6 grass type Pokemon and just do that.
Of course, yes.
And I'd become really good at that. I'd become really good at doing grass type stuff.
It's like specialization, right? It's like when you specialize in something rather than being a generalist.
Yeah.
I imagine most innovation in like the Pokemon universe, or a whole lot of it, probably comes from like type specialists.
Ooh, that's a very good point.
Yeah, I would call them probably like you can be a good Pokemon trainer that's like diversified, but you've learned from the specialists. Hence why you've battled the gym leaders.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
You've learned what those types do, the care that they require, and so you're becoming a Pokemon quote unquote master, right? And you do things like that. And so that's why it's a big deal when you can become a successful trainer using a diverse team, because you've learned how to care for these different types.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't see a lot of people with that. You don't see a lot of people have 6 Pokemon of different types. The only trainers I can think of that you actually see that from are typically champions.
Yeah.
Like Red and Blue come to mind as well. And those are the only people. Like you don't see that happen in the game. You do see occasionally, like you'll run into like a Pokemon breeder.
Yeah.
Right. I can think specifically of like Gen 3's Pokemon breeder, and they'll actually have a team of 6, but it'll be like baby Pokemon of all different types.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they're learning how to raise them, and I think that's very cute and in-game lore.
Yeah, that's clearly a different skill set if you're a Pokemon breeder rather than specializing in a type. And you know what? One of my favorite examples of it in the universe that kind of supports this theory is in the original Gold and Silver. When you beat the first gym in Gold and Silver, the gym leader talks about him inventing the TM.
Oh, that's true. That's true. There's a lot of lore that's been missing from Pokemon games like that.
Yeah.
Where they're just like, oh, I invented this TM because, honestly, the question at that point is like, what is a TM? It's just called a technical machine or whatever. What does that mean? And in my mind, I really like thinking of it in like the graphics that they gave us in Leaf Green and Fire Red, where it's like a disc you just like shove on the Pokemon's forehead. And they learn the move. I like to imagine it's like an aerobics DVD. Like it's Richard Simmons like teaching the Pokemon how to use Thunderbolt, you know?
I do think like that visual is so much funnier than what probably happens, which is you just put the data from the disc into the Pokeball where the Pokemon is already stored as data.
Oh, that's upsetting. I don't like that.
And it's like a software update to the Pokemon.
I mean, it's a disc, so I feel like it's an update. Very bad.
Yeah.
Like, you're putting in program.
I like the idea that I'm pulling out like a little mobile DVD player and having Ella Kid sit in front of it learning how to use Thunderbolt from Richard Simmons.
That might
so
work with electric
funnier.
types specifically.
Just Richard Simmons. Nobody. It's actually Richard Simmons.
An electric type gym leader probably came up with it because they specialized in a type.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I really like that like lore. Just thinking like, oh, somebody had to create the TMs and had to figure out how to teach the Pokemon how to do this. And I really like that thought. It's interesting. I don't know. It's just an interesting thought.
So I had a thing we wanted to make sense of.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
All right. What is like in this world where if you meet eyes with someone you got to battle, like I'm just minding my business. I don't need you all up in my face if I'm going through a route. Could you imagine?
So we were doing the XY Nuzlocke on stream, right? And the thing that got me the most was that there's a part in X and Y called Reflection Cave or Reflecting Cave. I forget exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And
where
people
the
are just
Yeah,
well, they're just like staring at the walls because they're reflection mirrors, and then you like walk behind them in the back, like our eyes technically met, and it's just like okay, let's calm down.
I would just wear like wraparound reflecting sunglasses the entire time and look like an absolute douche because I have social anxiety and I may not want a Pokemon battle at some time.
This is an introvert's nightmare.
Exactly. I'm gonna need a system where you give consent to battle, first of all.
Yeah.
First of all. And second of all, what's up with losing half your money? Like, I need to agree on a pre-agreed upon amount. That ain't right to just take half somebody's money, you know?
Well, that's because you blacked out.
Because otherwise, I could just be waiting to meet a trainer that's not expecting me and steal their lunch money, basically.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean that's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're doing. It's pretty. It's a good time. I don't know. I think it's a weird rule, very much so.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
I like the way they've been handling the anime recently about this, actually, where it's not just like the trainers I meets, because I don't know how far. I know Whimsicott's not following the anime. Nope. And I don't know if Sublime is following Journeys right now. I pseudo recommend it. But Ash is doing this thing called the Grand Coronation series because we needed a new MacGuffin for him to chase.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And in some title that doesn't make any sense, that means he can just chase another title later on.
Wow.
That's deep, right? But the way it works is it's like an ELO system where you battle somebody and then like you rank up. And the way they handled it is like your phone gets connected to it, which is a really interesting thought. So like his little Rotom phone, which is not nearly as annoying as Rotom Dex. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
It comes up and it's just like, oh, hey, there's a trainer nearby that's also in the Grand Coronation series. You can submit to battle.
So I don't want to say what that sounds like, but you all know what that sounds like.
Yes. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's like you can battle them and like you can like click to like send a battle invite and then you meet up.
You can hook up and battle.
You can hook up and battle. It is nothing like dating apps, I promise.
It's not nothing, no.
Nothing like it.
And battle, yeah.
Yeah, you just hook up and you battle. I like that a lot. I like that way of thinking about it better. Like maybe you wear like a badge that's just like, oh hey, it's okay to battle me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like the trainers I meets thing. It's obviously the excuse they come up with, so they go, oh, hey, our eyes met because we need you to battle trainers on this route to make the game work.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree with that. I think it's an interesting mechanic. I think it would be more interesting, especially now that we're in 3D, to kind of make more ways to like sneak around trainers or something. Maybe they catch you or something like that. It would be kind of interesting. Maybe this is like a Gen 9 thought, right? Not anything current, because I would still say that Game Freak is exploring 3D and they haven't quite mastered it.
Game Freak's doing Game Freak, you know?
Yeah, they're going at Game Freak speed. I will say that.
Yes.
I'll say that. I don't know. That's one of those weird things. You could always talk about food. I don't know what they eat, but they obviously have lemons because there's lemonade. But
that's like the age-old argument. I don't know. It's
if you actually look at like the history of how they handle things, like they have a brand book, right? That they like send out to people, and the brand books evolved over the years.
Yeah.
Because if you go to early episodes in the anime, they're like there's real fish like in the anime, like just real fish,
just like non-specific Pokemon, just fish.
They're not Pokemon. They're just fish.
They're just fish. Oh, like that episode where they're all drooling over the Magikarp.
Yeah, well, and then they find out it's supposed to be an edible.
Yeah, and that's the next step.
But like, there's like extra fish, and as over time, because nobody really knew what was going on with Pokemon at the time. I actually watched a very interesting video from Did You Know Gaming about Lugia today that like kind of dips into this. But it was with the anime, they just like didn't really like it's unfounded territory. They didn't know Pokemon was going to become Pokemon, right? And so the first seasons of the anime, they're just kind of just doing everything. But if you look at how like the brand book has evolved over the years, like it quickly switches over to in the Pokemon world, they aren't eating other animals because other animals don't exist.
Yeah.
Right. The whole fish thing got quickly kicked out. And I mean, even if you read like older Pokedex entries, it references real world places and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very interesting in that sense, but it's very weird because the anime just kind of became its own thing, and they were kind of just like testing the waters on a lot of stuff. And then it just evolved into this point where it's just like they're not eating things. If they're going to be eating food, make it nondescript food.
Yeah.
That you can't really tell what the food is.
Donuts.
So that like generic stews with lumps in it, right?
With the transition into like Pokemon essentially being animals, though, also came with the notion of Pokemon eating other Pokemon, which probably didn't exist as much beforehand.
No, I would say right now, like the Dex entries since like Gen 7 have been getting brutal.
Oh yeah,
I love it. They have.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think the Dex entries since since Gen 7 have just been wonderful because
but they like are doing such a great job of portraying like an ecosystem with Pokemon. It's great. It's really great. I agree.
I really like it.
Yeah, but then really like the stuff that starts not making sense is are you really letting 10-year-old kids catch stuff that they can like take home and it will eat their grandma? Like
yes.
Are you really?
It's a coming of age, you know? It's a rite of passage.
Having your dog eat your grandma is a coming of age thing?
If you don't eat grandma with your Pokemon, what you doing?
I think that's something that's also changed over the time. I think Pokemon collecting like in game canon has also changed over the years as well. Because it used to be like, oh hey, you're gonna go fill out this dex. Like Professor Oak gives it to you, I think in Gen 1 and Gen 2, and then like this kind of the idea in Gen 3.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But I think that's just like slowly been lost that you're like filling out the Pokedex and that the Pokedex just has information in it, right?
Yeah, it's no longer you're writing it. It's like you're like putting little check marks.
Yeah, you're putting a check mark on it.
Beside a box.
I mean, I would definitely say that about Gen 8. I'm not exactly sure when the transition happened. It happened somewhere between like Gen 4 and Gen 7, right? And
it became an app.
I find that very interesting. I don't know. It's okay. I don't mind it. I think it's easier to wrap your head around. I really wish, like, at some point I'd like to sit down and just kind of like break down like the anime's influence on modern Pokemon. Because I think the anime's influenced a lot of that. Like, a lot of the world that we imagine Pokemon to be now. Because Pokemon's still very headcanon-y.
Yeah.
Which is good. I think less so in Sword and Shield because they try to say a lot of things like outright. But before that, like a lot of headcanon. A lot of headcanon. It's very interesting in that respect. Though I did appreciate the DLC, like just kind of having like hidden nuggets in it.
Yeah.
Like they never say that Peony is Rose's brother, but it's there.
It's abundantly clear. Like they're identical.
They do clear these things up in the things that nobody reads, which is the trainer cards.
Yeah.
It's on the league card, but it's...
I think league cards were such a fun idea, though.
League cards are the best idea.
Love
so
league
good.
Cards.
I love league cards for so many reasons. One, I think it's the PR video's ultimate form.
Yeah.
Truly.
I think that's really good. I'm still surprised. I guess I haven't looked into it, but if somebody could come up with a way where you could just like post the image of your trainer card and they would print it out for you.
Ooh.
In real life, I think that's money waiting just like on the table. I think trainer cards are a very, very, very good idea.
Yeah.
I also like the way from the NPC perspective because it does fill in a lot of gaps that a lot of people aren't aware of. And because sometimes they're trying to like throw in little connections between characters and then like we find out about it from some vague NPC that you never talk to in a hidden building.
Yeah.
And then Bulbapedia characterizes it for you. But this, like, here's the lead card and you can read it and you're just like, oh, Gordy is, oh my gosh, what's her name? Melanie's son.
Melanie's son, yeah.
And it's just like, oh, it's right there on the trainer card. And that's kind of nice. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Trainer cards are a really good idea. It's not really an unexplained phenomenon in Pokemon, but they're good ideas.
No, but it's really cool.
I don't know, the laws of the Pokemon world, I mean, maybe that's something we should talk about too. Like, there's just no regulating body in the Pokemon world, which really concerns me.
I think at some point, like, insurance companies existed and then, like, they all went bankrupt within, like, 10 minutes of Pokemon existing because it was just impossible to keep up.
I mean, someone had to make it where, like, you can just go to the Pokemon Center for free, so someone's passing the laws.
Well, so that's kind of like, this is like a post-scarcity society, so like you get that.
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about that, like, ages ago. I think it was the three of us, actually. Maybe.
It might have been. It might have been. It's a very interesting way to think about that. But I also think what's really weird, I don't know, and I think this is probably accentuated in Sword and Shield, so we didn't think about it as much because there's no, like, quote-unquote evil team in Sword and Shield, right? So you're not just like, oh man, who's stopping bad guys from doing bad things with Pokemon?
Yeah.
Because there's none of that in Sword and Shield, other than, like, Team Yell's like, I'm gonna mildly inconvenience you.
Yes.
I mean, have you seen people like Team Yell when their team don't win, though? I mean, it could be an evil team under the right circumstances.
I would say the same thing about Sun and Moon.
They did take a very serious real-world phenomenon, and then they dumbed it down for a kid's game, so it doesn't really mean anything anymore. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I would like to see... Honestly, I'd like to see more police involvement in Pokemon games.
I would not. We're good.
Well, no, I would like to, or like some authority that's just like, hey, by the way, this is illegal. You can't do that.
I actually would love to explore the idea of, like, do gym leaders have, like, a role in their communities? Like, are they considered leaders in their communities?
According to Gen 5, they do.
Yeah, Gen 5, and I think to a lesser extent, Gen 8 are really good at that. That, maybe they do. Maybe they're just like, oh, we're the kings of the community and we can do this. Though I think, well, no, maybe it's a cool idea to go ahead and just be, because they are supposed to be, like, gym leaders are... the idea came from like shoguns in Japan, right? And so like that would make sense. Like, oh, hey, they're like the rulers. They're the people like making the rules.
I mean, even if like, okay, this is a weird discussion to have with two American people, but in theory, how would you enforce the law when someone has a much stronger Pokemon team than you? Like if the first 10-year-old that leaves a professor's house with a Pokedex and a starter within like 3 months is stronger than all like the quote-unquote police officers in the area. How do you deal with that?
Well, that's why I really love when you see in some of the media they've done, the gym leaders have different Pokemon they use depending on how strong you are.
Exactly. Yeah. But that would still mean that the gym leaders are the strongest Pokemon trainers in the area, and therefore, by logic, they should have some kind of position of, like, authority, or at least, like, they should help out if something happens.
It's called gym leader, so they better be a leader to their community. That's how I feel about it.
Exactly.
No, I think that they really do need to show them stepping up more. Like, Gen 5 did so many things. They did so many things right with Gen 5. And I mean, even at the time, like I was one of the people that was just like, oh, this isn't great. And it's again, Pokemon brain shock, right? But I think Gen 5 in terms of what it was as a game was a very good game, especially in retrospect.
It was amazing.
Gen 5 did a lot really well, and then also some things really not well, but it did a lot really well.
Yeah, no, I would say Gen 5 is extremes, right? Very black and white. Very black and white. Because they're just like, oh, hey, we're just not going to have any of the old Pokemon for, like, the main story. Yeah. And it's like, but, man, maybe, like, a Pikachu would be cool. And they're like, Pikachu, no more Pikachu. And
no.
never. You can't even catch a Pikachu. Those are the only games you can't catch Pikachu in, by the way.
Which is iconic. That is iconic. They said, you know what? I don't even need Pikachu for this game.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I think that just shows like how much they were trying to do with Gen 5, like what their hopes were with Gen 5.
It was such a soft reset, and I love it for that because it's very unique in that way. No other generation has been like Gen 5.
I think it's okay to keep it that way. I personally really like the quote unquote model they're in right now, where they're just like, hey, here's 80 new Pokemon. Have fun.
I mean, sometimes they experiment, and I'm glad they do that, right? Like, Gen 7, they experimented with the whole formula. Gen 5, they did a lot of experimenting. So, like, it's not like they do it every time, but, like, it's okay when they try something new.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you at all. I don't disagree. So, this is a good place to stop. Of course, the mailbag is going to run into this, so if you want to send us an email next week at puclpodcast@gmail.com and let us know something that you think is weird in the Pokemon world that needs an explanation, let us know. But on that note, we're going to kick it on over to the Pokemon of the episode, and we'll catch you on the flip-flop. Poke
of the episode.
And welcome to our Pokemon of the episode. Our Pokemon of the episode this week is National Dex number 888, Zacian, the warrior Pokemon.
Its Shield Pokédex entries state, for the hero of many battles form. This Pokemon has slumbered for many years. Some say it's Zamazenta's elder sisters. Others say the two Pokemon are rivals. And for the Crowned Sword form, it says, able to cut down anything with a single strike, it became known as the Fairy King's Sword, and it inspired awe in friend and foe alike. So just, you have to trade it to get the good Pokédex entries, essentially.
Yes. Yes, Zacian's obviously good, and we're highlighting it today on a Battle Stadium singles team because the EUTC is Battle Stadium singles, and we want to encourage you to join and use the teams. We're gonna all month we've just got Battle Stadium singles teams. And I'm very excited because we get to do Ubers for like once and that we've never done. It's very exciting in that regard. So Zacian, and the one that we're talking about today is the Crown Sword form, not the Hero of Many Battles form, which is the weaker of the two. Because you get extra 50 base stat points and you're holding a rusted sword, and I can't think of an item that would do this to your attack stat that you should run otherwise, because the attack stat jumps from 130 to 170, base 92 HP, base 115 defense stays the same. Yeah, you get an extra base 10 speed, and you get a base speed of 148, which is insane. I think Dragapult still out.
Nope, 142.
Oh, never mind. I'm wrong. Yep, it outspeeds Dragapult. Base 115 speed, base 80 special attack, because nobody cares, so nobody cares. It's fine. But the 170 attack and 148 speed make it a monster.
Absolutely.
And then it gets a boost when it comes in.
Yeah. His ability is what is, oh my gosh, what's the Intrepid Sword? So when he comes in, he just gets a +1 to attack. It's insane.
And it has like one of the best typings in the entire game.
Ever.
Also in VGC, you get really cute cheese that you can do with it, with the Intrepid Sword. You can send out you send out Zacian without wheezing on the field, and he gets the +1 boost from Intrepid Sword, but then you send in neutralizing gas wheezing, and it resets all of the abilities, and when you pull the wheezing out, Intrepid Sword procs again.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So you like essentially put an eject button on the wheezing, and oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's really silly. It's really, really
free
silly.
Swords Dance.
You essentially get free Swords Dance on your base 170 attack.
It's so stupid. I love it.
But yes, this is the team we have today, and I'm very excited to go over it. It actually looks pretty decent. I might run it for funsies.
Yeah, me too.
It does look fun.
So, the start of the show, Zacian, as we said, it has to be holding the rusted sword to be in the crown form. Its ability has to be Intrepid Sword. It has, very simply, Jolly Nature, max attack, max speed. It's got Iron Head, which will turn into Behemoth Blade, since it's in crown form. It has Play Rough, Swords Dance, in case you didn't, it wasn't enough to have a +1. And it has Substitute, so you can just set up for days and then destroy everything. It's just too good.
Yes.
But it cannot touch the second member of the team, Focus Sash Shedinja, with Wonder Guard, max attack, max speed, Adamant Nature, with Poltergeist, Leech Life, Shadow Sneak, and Will-O-Wisp. It's so much fun.
Shedinja is actually really good in this meta. It's actually really good.
because it blocks out Kyogre a lot too. On
And Kyogre is actually really popular in this meta because you just go Choice Scarf and you can just Water Spout.
Water Spout.
Yeah.
It was actually something I remember the first time I ever met Sigma in person. He ran that because we were in like a VGC 2016 meta tournament together, and he like just ran Choice Scarf Kyogre. It was pretty cool. Everybody was confused because they were expecting Primal. It was very fun.
Fun, yeah.
Sublime, you get these next two.
Yeah, let's talk about Moltres. Not that Moltres, the original Moltres.
OG Moltres.
OG Moltres, the one that actually got the fire, So we're running Moltres as a timid nature because it's got that competitive 100 speed, You gotta. So we're doing max speed, max special attack, put the last 4 into special defense, and we're doing Life Orb, pressures the ability. And this is a Dynamax target, actually.
Ooh.
So we're running Solar Beam. You could tell a little bit when you saw Hurricane and Solar Beam on the list.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, that works great for Dynamax, So we're just running, like, high base power moves. We've got Fire Blast, Hurricane, Solar Beam, and then Scorching Sands for the coverage. Scorching Sands is so good.
It's such a fun coverage move that a lot of things got.
Yeah, so great for fire types.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a great candidate for our Dynamaxing. It's not the only one, but it is a great candidate for it. And then we're also running Tapu Koko. It's timid nature, and this is a very it's a specific EV spread. So it's doing 124 into HP, 4 defense, 12 special attack, 196 special defense, and 172 speed. And what that's going to do for you is it'll outspeed Cinderace.
Yeah, and it also, the spread helps you survive against Yveltal as well.
Yeah, this is very tanky. This is a very tanky, very tanky set because you're running so much bulk.
Yeah.
You're using Citrus Berry as your item, so even more like tanky goodness. And of course, its only ability for us is going to be Electric Surge. So we're running Discharge, Dazzling Gleam, and then Eerie Impulse and Taunt.
Oh, so interesting.
So that's different. Yeah, I believe. What does
I love Eerie Impulse.
Drop? Is it special defense?
Special attack. Special attack.
Special attack. Okay. Even tankier. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
it just makes it tanky. It makes it incredibly tanky against things like Yveltal.
Especially with Taunt. Fast taunt, we love a fast taunt.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you have something that's going to try to hit with a special attack, which a lot of things are nowadays, Tapu Koko will stop it. I mean, it'll help you also probably against Kyogre, I assume. Yeah. So the last two members of the team are just like, what are good things we can throw on the team? That's how I'll describe it. You have another Dynamax target in Dragonite, who's holding a weakness policy with multiscale. Because of the buff to Inner Focus that we got this gen, you don't actually know what ability Dragonite's going to run all the time. Because you could just like get rid of Intimidate. Yeah, like it's great. Dragonite's gotten betterish. I'd say Inner Focus in general's gotten better. Like there's a reason to run Inner Focus on things like Suicune and Entei now.
You mean there's a reason to run Inner Focus, period.
Yeah, it's great.
Anytime that you don't know what ability something gets, like that makes Dragonite a bigger threat for sure.
Yeah, it's almost like Bronzong, almost, but Levitate's definitely better.
That's the problem.
Yep. So this is multi-scale, 4 HP, 252 attack, 252 speed, jolly nature, Dynamax target, and just putting good moves on it. So dual Wing Beat, so that you get your flying type coverage. Earthquake, because Earthquake's just good. And then you've got Fire Punch and Ice Punch. And I think all of these are better than running a Dragon type move, especially on a Dynamax target.
Yeah.
Dragon type Dynamax kind of sucks, and I think the coverage you get with those 4 moves covers almost anything you're going to want to hit. I
just realized this is a physical Dynamax, or then the Moltres was special.
Yeah, it depends on what you want to hit with.
Nice. Yeah, nice.
Like, Dragonite's just gotten so much better because of that Inner Focus buff. I love it. So the last member on this team is Stakataka, because Stakataka is also just good. You have a Stakataka with a Brave Nature, Choppleberry, so if a fighting type move comes and hits it, it's probably not going to die, because nobody's running Focus Blast. Nobody likes Focus Blast. And so 252 HP, 252 attack, 4 defense, Brave Nature, 0 IV and speed, with Gyro Ball, Rock Blast, Body Press, and Trick Room. So you can set up your own Trick Room for a couple turns, probably run some Train because you're a Stakataka, and because you're also a Stakataka, your Beast Boost is only boosting your defense. Yeah. Pretty much all the time. Unless I think you have to like hit an IV of like 14 on defense to get it to hit attack.
Yes, you do. And this isn't like that nature and that IV.
Yeah, so you just need like bad stuff. So this is better. Just run this. Because you'll just be able to body press all day.
Yeah, and if you're wondering like, why is there a single Trick Room Pokemon on a team? This is BSS. And since it does get the boost to defense, it will just live long enough that the rest of your team doesn't have to deal with the Trick Room that you set up.
Yeah, this team is very much like, here's a couple of individual actors for, do I think that there's going to be a physical offensive threat, or is there going to be a special offensive threat, or is there going to be a weakness on the physical side or on the special side? And you just kind of go accordingly. And if you see a Zacian, you just bring Shedinja.
Yeah.
You just bring Shedinja, because Shedinja is fun for that. But yeah, this looks like a fun team. I would definitely recommend it. It's going to be up on the Discord. You can also watch PMcGee and Cloud9 use it later this week, and I'm sure the two of them are going to have as much fun looking at that as I had looking at this today.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to kick it on over then, guys, to the mailbag.
It's mail time! Send in your emails!
And welcome to the mailbag. Our mailbag today is, as always, brought to you by the energy drink Green Toros, the energy drink that gives you hooves.
Hooves!
And as always, we'll give out the Green Toros badge if we think your email's good. But this is the segment of the show where you can send in your emails, and we'll read them on the show. at puclpodcast@gmail.com. Last time we asked you guys what you were hoping for from Pokemon 25, so I'm excited to see what you guys wrote in. So without further ado, let's kick it off with MO. Hey, Puckle crew. I must say I'm on Wim's side with this one. I hated knowing almost every line in the game before X and Y was released.
You can see me, but I'm nodding.
Yeah, remember feeling so disappointed when I finally got my hands on the game. There was something about the magic of running into something I had never seen before that was just missing for me. However, one of my favorite experiences through leak season was the reveal of Alolan forms in Gen 7. I kind of wish they had left out a few more to be surprises in the game, but I remember getting so hyped when the silhouette would come on screen and the type would just be revealed, and just, good times.
Mm-hmm.
As for the prompt, I'm going to express my biggest disappointment in a leak that turned out to be fake. Anyone remember hearing about the clock/grandfather clock line that was rumored for Swish? I got super excited for that one for some reason, but I always been fascinated by grandfather clocks. The chimes, the regal status, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I got a major Beauty and the Beast vibes that hit me in the nostalgia in a way I didn't expect. Bummed they didn't make it. That's kind of true, actually, yeah.
Beauty
Also sort of related. Still disappointed we missed out on the anchor-tailed shark that apparently got cut from the beta of Gen 2. Could have been awesome.
That was so creepy.
It wasn't a Pokemon. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't feel like a Pokemon design.
Yeah, it was not even a Digimon. It was like some knockoff weird.
It's knockoff Pokemon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's about it for today. Keep being awesome. MOMO. I really like Sharpedo. Like, Sharpedo's the shark we needed.
Sharpedo is essentially that Pokemon without the anchor part.
Yeah.
I still don't like it.
And then they made an anchor Pokemon, so you got both, just separate.
Yeah, I would say
true.
that. But yeah, I thank you for sending that in. I forgot the email was about rumors. Talk about rumors. That's what it was. I forgot that's what we talked about last week. We do too many shows, guys. We do too many shows.
I don't know
All
what
right.
you mean.
This next one is
some?
Fozzie Bear.
right.
Sublime's got this one.
What's up, Thatch and crew? As with every kid on the playground in 99, I tried every combination I could to push that truck by the SS Ant to catch a Mew. When that didn't work, I was very skeptical of the missing number glitch, but when I had what seemed like an infinite number of Master Balls in my inventory, 9-year-old Fozzie went to the truck and tried again. Needless to say, that didn't work, and I finally went back aboard the SS Ant to take out my rival with my team of level 100 Pokemon to watch it sail away. I'm still convinced that holding down plus B gets a perfect catch, though. Or maybe it's just the catching charm. As for why I read the plot points of the games I didn't play, I don't have an answer other than it didn't take that much time. Upside down smiley face. As always, Fozzie Bear.
He brings up a really good point about the rumors that I didn't think about. Was like, a lot of the reason some of them probably got traction was because some of them ended up being true back then. Like, Missing No, I remember being like a quote unquote rumor. Like,
the fact that Missing No is true is what makes it so interesting, you know?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Because if that's true, what else could be true?
Yeah, that's nuts. And then you're just like, oh, well, you can get Mew if you push a truck. I'm like, well, there's Missing No, so why wouldn't you be able to do that?
Exactly. And Missing No is like the essence of what a creepy pasta should be like. So there's this Pokemon that doesn't really look like anything, and you have to do this elaborate thing to get it, and then it gives you infinite items, and then it messes up your save file, and like,
yeah,
what?
Missing
And
No in
it's true?
general is crazy.
Old school Pokemon rumors are almost like urban legends, and a big reason is because of Missing Number actually being real.
I think that probably gave credence to them, like more so than they would have gotten otherwise. Like,
exactly.
Because there was already something weird in the game. And
Exactly.
True. Exactly.
Yeah, it was true. And I don't know, Missing No is just like one of those pieces of nostalgia too. Like, who thinks about Missing No?
Here's the thing. We've all had, I assume, like, we all actually did it because we all played Gen 1.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
because I was afraid to.
Yeah.
I didn't want to mess up my game.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, it was one of those things that when you're a kid, you don't understand it.
Exactly. Small Child Sublime loved it.
Yeah.
I wasn't a small child, so I didn't do it.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it was, I mean, I still think about it. I mean, it still works in the Virtual Console releases on the 3DS too.
Yeah.
Which is weird to think about. That they're just like, yeah, we ported it over hard. And I think it's good for best for best they didn't fix it, just because of the nostalgia that kind of brings up.
Truly.
Yeah.
Completely.
There's a thing that really annoys me on the internet that goes around every once in a while. I saw it on Twitter last, where they're just like, here are the demands that we have for Pokemon to make Pokemon good again. And
Noted. Next.
And yeah, and then they're just like, well, then it's just like, they have like the typical things. And then one of them's just like, make Missing No an actual Pokemon. I'm like, what are you doing?
Why?
No.
Why? No.
That defeats
Why?
the point.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, the point is that Missing No isn't a Pokemon. And it's literally a glitch in the game. And I don't know. I imagine that the person that wrote that isn't a person who grew up with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're at the point where there are kids born after that game came out that are like in their 20s. And
Yeah.
they might be like, oh, well, when I played it for the first time in 2005, I did the Missing No, and it was really cool, and I think it should be a Pokemon, like Trico.
Well, I'm sorry, but if you are below a certain age, you did not get to experience it in its, like, nostalgia era. Sorry about it. Like, you missed the train. You missed the train.
Missing No's are nostalgia.
Linian and Ash are just hating us right now.
You can't appropriate our nostalgia. It's our
Don't
nostalgia.
think you could just try and ask for it as the Pokemon just because you didn't get to participate in the nostalgia. Like, I'm sorry. You can nostalgia about nostalgize about other things.
These are our friends you're talking about, guys.
It's not an attack, I'm just saying.
This is we're making it. It was a joke. I at least started this as a joke.
Yeah, it's not serious. It's not
We had to take
My
ownership of our
response
own
wasn't
nostalgia.
serious either. Oh my goodness.
We're very vicious. Okay, we want our nostalgia. No, it's fine.
I don't. I want to keep it in nostalgia.
I think that's an interesting point to bring up though. Like Missing No's real, so like why couldn't these other things be real?
Exactly.
Because I remember trying to find something like that, like when Gen 2 came out, even just being like, oh man, what's like?
Did you ever find Peekaboo?
No. I remember Peekaboo. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. See, that's that same era of nostalgia. It's irreplicable.
It was this really sweet time between the internet being widespread and kids having like easy access to it and like Japanese information making its way to the West. Because the way it used to happen, like it would just be some like random magazine would be like, hey, we got these images from Japan about the next generation of Pokemon, because by 1998 they were already talking about Gen 2 in Japan. And so like they had leaks about like the quote unquote next thing. And they would just like publish it and they'd be like, hey, these are the next Pokemon, and you wouldn't understand what's going on as a kid because these things would just be like leaking in there all over the place. And it would just be coming from random sources. None of it's unified. I remember I had because like you're a kid, you collect everything Pokemon when you're a kid. And so I found like this, it was like a free book at like some trading card game shop of just like card values for like the original Pokemon card set. And in it had like some of the sets that were only in Japan at the time. And they had like, it had like Togepi in it and stuff like that. And like, there were just like hints of like Gen 2 Pokemon sprinkled throughout it. And so you didn't quite understand what was happening. And so like, I just remember like looking over that like a bajillion times as a kid and being like, oh man, that's really exciting.
That must have been super fascinating.
So it's interesting to think about just like the nostalgia at the time and just like how the information wasn't good.
And that also contributed to the whole rumor mill.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Because like Pika Blue, quote unquote, Meryl existed. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, here's an image of it. And especially if you get like the beta Sugimori art, nobody knows what that looked like. I mean, if you just look at like the Gold Silver demo or the Pokemon Gold demo version they had, like none of those Pokemon look like anything that we have now.
Yeah. I mean, there was, I saw a video recently of an artist channel, and the people on the channel challenged each other to draw Pokemon based on their like red and green back sprites. It was amazing. Like,
that's always
things
funny.
They came up with, it was just great. But yeah, I think like the right amount of mystery just adds tons of charm.
Absolutely. All right. So our next email is going to be from Slow King Braveheart, probably our last email today. So Whimsicott, go ahead. You got this one.
Yep. Hey, Thatch and glorious co-hosts. Slow King Braveheart here, wishing you a happy new year and hope you all are staying safe and healthy as we enter 2021. I am, thank you. The IPA, Irish Pokemon Army, is holding out against Chairman Rose's crazed followers and keeping the fight for the sovereignty alive. That was a change of mood right there.
Yeah, right?
What happened?
Yep. Okay, moving on.
Let's move on. I would like to address a couple topics since I haven't been able to write in recently. First being, we need a Pokemon party game. Something like Mario Party, but please bring back the minigames from Pokemon Stadium 64. I miss those games like crazy, especially the original Magikarp Jump game. My sister and I spent hours playing that game alone.
Same.
Dude, Pokemon Stadium.
Those were so good as a kid.
They're just amazing because it's just like Pokemon used to be a very a very individual experience, like when you're playing the game, right? The occasional like, hey, let's hook up link cables, but Pokemon Stadium felt like an event when you were a kid.
Pokemon Stadium is the Pokemon party game. Like, that's just what it is.
It honestly is. Yeah, no, I don't think you can make a Pokemon party game with just like mini games. You could, and I would buy it, and I would enjoy it very much. But I think if you want to make it the ultimate thing, you're just like, here's a battle arena. And like, we already kind of have that because it's already on the TV and everything, but I think I just liked having that hub to like get together and battle. But I digress. Let's continue.
Second, in terms of Pokemon rumors throughout the years, I fell for many false rumors. I believed in the Mew under the truck in Gen 1. I also believed the Marill was a water version of the Pikachu line at some point as a child. Yeah, Pikablue.
Pikablue.
I treasure the memories of finding Koro leaks online back as a child and getting super excited about the new leaked Pokemon forms and guessing evolutions. Although I was disappointed by the realization of those being fake over the years, I really enjoyed the thrill of learning about Pokemon throughout the years and haven't found anything else like it growing up. Yeah, it was its own special thing.
Absolutely.
Finally, my predictions for Pokemon's anniversary. This is my wish list. 5 games for 25 years of Pokemon. 1. Masters Collection of Generations 1 through 3. 2. New Pokemon Snap. 3. Pokemon Let's Go Johto. No, that's not going to happen.
No.
No thanks.
It's not going to happen, especially at the same time as the other one, but
no.
Yeah.
4 Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes, and 5 Pokemon Unite. Although I'm skeptical about actually liking Unite, I would be very happy if this list came true. Anyways, I rambled on for long enough, and the fires of Galar rage against the legacy of Chairman Rose, and my people need me, so I must depart. Catch you on the flip side, Slowking Braveheart.
Yeah, Let's Go Johto is not going to happen.
No.
Let's hope it doesn't. I don't need it in my life. No, we don't need that.
Let's Go was an anomaly that we should just never talk about again. I think the problem with the Let's Go genre in general is that they kind of box themselves into a lot of problems.
Yeah.
With it, because they get rid of what it is eventually, what makes it special. Because Pokemon overall, like mechanically, hasn't changed since like Gen 4. And so what they did in Let's Go, like the big deal was like, oh, there's no items, there are no abilities, because we added those later, right?
Yeah.
And the problem is, like, if you do Let's Go Johto itself, like Gen 2, a lot of its like points wrap around held items.
Yeah.
Like they're just like held items are a big deal. You need to have held items.
The thing about Gen 2 was items and eggs.
Yeah, and so like they got rid of breeding in Let's Go, and then they're gonna put it back. Like you have to put it back, or you just don't have. You're not doing Johto justice at that point, right? Like
Yeah.
I would argue like Let's Go was good enough for what it was, like trying to be a remake of like a very good, good in quotations remake of Pokemon. I just don't think you're gonna get that again.
Although I will say, Johto is such a pretty region, and I would love to see it in the Let's Go aesthetic.
Absolutely.
I do not want that game, but I would love Johto in that aesthetic.
I think the Let's Go aesthetic is better than the Sword and Shield aesthetic. Fight me.
Bold claim.
Fight me. I think in some ways, like I really wish there was more of a middle ground between them, is what we got for Sword and Shield. Like I'm a big sucker for like the chibi style characters we got in the overworld in Gen 6, and I think that would have worked well. I don't know.
I think the middle ground is actually like Gen 7, only that was on the 3DS.
Yes. I think Gen 7 was very good in that regard. I don't know, something a bit more anime-ish than we got now. Maybe more cartoonish is the word. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, thank you for sending in those emails to all of you. I honestly want to give Fozzie Barra the email because we talked forever about
I was going
missing
to
no.
say the same. 'Cause
Same.
we discussed it for a good long time. And he
Yeah.
used an emoji.
Yeah, Fozzie Barra, you get it. You get that badge. Just let us know. We'll give it to you. All right. If you want to send an email next week, let us know what in the Pokemon world doesn't make sense to you, or you think is weird and breaks down their society.
Yeah, or if you have a good explanation for some of the weird stuff that we've been saying or that you have noticed, we would love to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know at puclpodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you guys. If you want to keep up with us throughout the week, the best way to do that is honestly get on Discord. We're always all there, hanging out, just ready to talk to you guys. You can always follow us on social media over at Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, and Instagram. You can also come and check out the Twitch streams twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, over at twitch.tv/thepuclpodcast. That's always a good time. You can check out some more YouTube videos over at youtube.com/puclpodcast. And you can, of course, go over to support the show in a couple different ways. One, by just dropping a Twitch Prime subscription, and we're moving on from TeePublic to something else. It'll be ready like next week, maybe. So don't worry about TeePublic, but patreon.com/puclpodcast. We are going to be announcing the new round of Pokemon giveaways for everybody this week. So make sure you watch out for that. All right. On that note, though, I have been Trainer Thatch.
I have been the Fluffiest Whimsicott.
And I continue to be so.
And here in the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's closing time.
Closing time in Lavender Town. Time to say our goodbyes. It's closing time.